Today, we're diving into one of history's greatest secrets. Seriously. It's a mystery that connects our modern world all the way back to the ancient past, and it could totally change what we think we know about a legendary lost artifact. You know, we've all heard the stories. The Ark of the Covenant. Vanished. Gone without a trace. But what if that whole idea, the very foundation of the search, what if it's just wrong?
I mean, just try to picture the scale of this hunt. We're talking Crusader knights, we're talking powerful empires, countless treasure hunters, all of them desperately seeking this one object, believing it held the key to divine power.
The Ark just became bigger than itself, right? It turned into this global obsession, the ultimate symbol of lost treasure. It fueled endless debates in universities. And of course, some pretty amazing Hollywood blockbusters. And this is where the story takes a wild turn. Because while the entire world was looking for it, one nation just never bothered. Not because they didn't care, but because, for them, the search was already over, millennia ago. So to really understand just how huge Ethiopia's claim is, we first have to back up and remember what the Ark of the Covenant even is and why it matters so much. Okay, so this was not just a fancy box. According to the scriptures, this was a direct hotline between heaven and earth. It was a physical container for the power of God himself. And the power it was said to have, I mean, it's just off of charts. Inside were the actual stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. It was described as a weapon of war that could level entire cities, but at the same time, it was so holy that if you looked at it the wrong way, poof, you were dead. And here we get to the big problem. Around 587 BC, the Babylonians destroy Jerusalem, and the Ark just vanishes from the biblical record. Gone. And this is the moment the world's search begins. But it's also the exact same moment another story starts. So now, let's turn to Ethiopia's version of events. It's a story that has stayed incredibly consistent for over 1,600 years. Just look at this contrast for a second. On one side, you have all these scattered, totally unproven theories. It was stolen, it was hidden, it was destroyed. And on the other side, a single, confident, unwavering answer. They don't guess, they just state it as fact. And, this claim isn't just some local folklore. It's written down in their most sacred book, the Kebra Nagast, which translates to the glory of kings. It's as central to their national identity as the Declaration of Independence is here in the States. Their story is completely different. The Ark wasn't stolen. According to the Kebra Nagast, Menelik I, who was the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, he brought it to Ethiopia, not by stealing it, but with divine permission. The Ark chose its new home. But this is not just some ancient story in a dusty book. This is a living, breathing tradition that is happening right now, with this profound human commitment right at its very core. For centuries, this has been its home, or at least its alleged home. A pretty small, unassuming chapel in the holy city of Axum, which is believed to house the world's most powerful object. And this is where the story becomes so incredibly personal and almost unbelievable in its devotion. It's not a museum piece, it's not for us to see, it is a sacred covenant protected by one single person. I mean, can you even imagine this level of commitment? Once this monk is chosen, he is basically dead to the outside world. He dedicates his entire life to prayer and protection inside this small compound until the day he dies. And then, another one takes his place. It is an unbroken chain of human sacrifice. And that's the question that really challenges any skeptic, right? Why would generation after generation of men give up their lives, their families, absolutely everything, to guard an empty box or a lie? The sheer human cost of this tradition is, for a lot of people, a form of evidence all by itself. Now, beyond just the guardian, there's another kind of evidence, something that you can see all across the country, something that shows just how deep this belief runs in everyday life. It's called the Tabot, and every single one of Ethiopia's thousands of Orthodox churches has one. It's basically a consecrated replica that represents the one true Ark that they believe is sitting in Axum. And get this. This practice exists nowhere else in Christianity. The Tabot is kept hidden behind a curtain just like the Ark was. During festivals, it's carried around wrapped in rich cloth, just like the Ark was. The entire religious life of 50 million people revolves around a replica of an object they believe is just down the road. So you might be thinking, okay, if the claim is so strong and the tradition is so deep, why isn't this front page news? Why do so many mainstream historians just kind of dismiss it? Well, it really comes down to this. What do we even consider to be proof? The West demands scientific proof, right? Carbon dating, material analysis, something you can put in a glass case. Ethiopia offers a completely different kind of evidence, a living tradition, a sacred text, and an unbroken chain of belief. It's a fundamental clash of worldviews.
And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe some truths aren't meant to be measured with calipers and microscopes. Maybe they survive and are preserved through human devotion and collective memory.
So what do you think? Is this all just a beautiful, deeply held national myth? Or is the world's greatest lost object not lost at all, but exactly where its protectors have said it has been all along, hidden in plain sight?